The PDF for this lesson is available. Check the description for the link. Number 1. Take care of. My parents are going to leave for the weekend. But what about your little brother? He's just 4 years old. I'm going to have to take care of him. I'm going to take care of my little brother. To keep someone safe or provide for them. She takes care of her grandparents on weekends. He took care of his sister while their parents were at work.
But a mother, well, we know she's got to be a mother. She's got to take care of her children.
I know how to do hair, but does that but does that make me less of a man? And it does not. I don't do hair for a living, but if I had a daughter, I know that I would be able to provide and take care of her.
Number 2, get along with. Do you have any cousins? Yeah, but I never see them. We don't really get along with each other. That's unfortunate. We don't really get along with each other. To have a good relationship with someone. She gets along well with her siblings. He doesn't always get along with his brother, but they're still close.
2. You're in a toxic environment. Does your family barely ever get along with each other? Are your parents always screaming at one another? Or perhaps you feel like they're all just taking advantage of you without any care for your personal well-being at all.
And we all will be here. We all need to get along with each other. We all need to start to understand each other. And that comes from building bridges between these different traditions.
Number 3, take after. That meal was incredible. Where did you learn to cook? My mother is Italian. She showed me how. You must really take after her then. You must take after your mother. To be similar to a family member in appearance or behavior. She takes after her dad when it comes to her sense of humor. He takes after his mom with his love of reading.
I started an FFA because my dad was really involved in agriculture, and so I wanted to take after him, and I have a passion for agriculture and working with animals.
Pretty much, there's me, and there's my back hair. There's the child. She does not yet have back hair. She will hopefully take after her mother in that regard.
Number 4, look up to. When I was a kid, my older brother was like a role model to me. You must have looked up to him a lot. I did. Older siblings can be so inspiring and set a good example. I looked up to my older brother. To admire or respect someone. She always looked up to her grandmother for her wisdom. He looks up to his dad for his hard work and dedication.
The royal archetype is sophisticated, ambitious, and influential. Their goal is to build a prosperous community and to hold very high standards, to live as an example for the people who look up to them. People aspire to be a part of their inner circle.
Dr. King has been an inspiration and someone that I can look up to since I was born.
Number 5, grow apart. How often do you see your brother? Not very often. We grew apart after the election. A lot of families have been destroyed because of recent politics. It's a shame. We kind of grew apart after the election. To slowly become distant from someone over time. She and her friend grew apart after moving to different cities. He grew apart from his cousin after they stopped spending summers together.
When the Romans transplanted Latin across Europe, French, Spanish, and Italian were born. When groups move to different places, over time their ways of speaking grow apart just like everything else about them. Thus, Latin's word for hand was manus, but in French it became main, while in Spain it became mano.
I could pass by someone on the street that I used to know, and they wouldn't recognize me anymore. And if we aren't growing towards the same things, we can grow apart from each other and get to the point where we don't know each other or really recognize each other anymore. In my experience, this happens as we get older.
Number 6, put up with. The election ruined everything. My uncle supports the other side. I can't stand him. Thanksgiving is around the corner, and you'll have to put up with him, right? I don't know if I can. He's intolerable. My uncle can be annoying, but I'll have to put up with him. To tolerate something, often something annoying. She puts up with her brother's jokes because she knows they're innocent. He puts up with his sister's teasing because they have a good relationship.
No. Yeah, I'm such a loser for knowing that.
Stop being mean to my friend!
And though it's like hella aggressive, I found that it actually works because something about it kind of reframes the way that you're talking to yourself. It reminds you that you wouldn't put up with a friend saying that to you, so why should you say it to yourself?
Congratulations to you, class of 2016. Congratulations to all in the audience who have supported you, encouraged you, put up with you, who love you.
Number 7, pass down. This watch was my father's, and it's been in our family for generations. What do you plan on doing with it? I'm going to pass it down to my son, and I hope he'll pass it down to his children. I hope he'll pass it down to his children too. To give something from one generation to the next. They've passed down family recipes for years. Her grandmother passed down her jewelry to her mother.
Pick those lessons that you want to pass down to the next generation, like passing on a legacy.
Fitness, in the biological sense, is determined by not how strong they are or how long they live, but by how many offspring they have. These darker green frogs pass down their DNA to their offspring. The new baby frogs will have DNA from their parents.
Number 8, pass away. How's your grandmother doing? Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. She passed away last year. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. My condolences. My grandmother passed away a few years ago. To die, but a polite or softer way of saying it. Her grandfather passed away peacefully at home. He remembers his mother fondly, even though she passed away years ago.
So my question is, you mentioned that you kind of regret not having spent more time with your son before he passed. After he did pass away, did you see a change in kind of the amount of time you spent with either family or time you took off, or in terms of how much you worked.
So the reason it feels like a human has died is because dogs are a lot like us. Their life arc is our life arc, from city to suburb, from tragedy to bliss. And when they pass away, that's what we lose.
Quiz time! Pause the video for each question. Siblings argue a lot, but eventually they learn to what each other? Take after. Put up with. Put up with. Siblings argue a lot, but eventually they learn to put up with each other. My grandmother is sick, so I have to what her? Take after. Take care of. Take care of. My grandmother is sick, so I have to take care of her. My father has always been my role model. I really what him? Look up with. Look up to. Look up to. My father has always been my role model. I really look up to him. I think it's great that you what your mother. You two have a great relationship. Get along with. Put up with. Get along with. I think it's great that you get along with your mother. You two have a great relationship.